Hey guys, so in this video we're going to create a public availability calendar. So the first thing we need to do is create a calendar that we're going to make public later. So let's go over here to My Calendars and create new calendar. After we click that, we're going to be asked to name the calendar. Now this will be visible to the people that you make the calendar available to. So I'm going to name mine Agency Availability. You could just name it availability or whatever you want, but this calendar is specifically for me to tell agencies about my availability, and I handle direct clients differently. So it's up to you if you want to do that or not, or if you just want to do availability, but just keep in mind that this will be visible. You can use a description here if you want, location, but I'm not going to enter any of that information. Now over here, you're going to see there's a checkbox that says make this calendar public. So we do want to do that. And then you can share only my free or busy information. You don't want to check that because if you do, then you won't be able to enter any information other than just blocking out time. And I'll show you why that's important shortly. So now we're just going to click Create Calendar. It does notify you that you are going to be making your calendar public, but don't worry, we're just making this calendar public, so all of your other calendars for your personal activities and your actual work scheduling will be still private. So yes, I'm okay with that. All right, so now you'll see that agency availability has been added over here to my list of calendars. So what I usually do is I create an event from about 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day. You could do it earlier, whatever you want. And I'm going to add full availability and select my agency availability calendar. Now you might be wondering why I'm selecting the event from 8 to 9 a.m. instead of doing an all-day event. And the reason for that is because if I want to block out a full day, I actually use the time of the event to do that. So instead of 8 to 9, the event would be from 8 a.m. all the way to 5 p.m. and I can just drag that down. Whereas if it's a full day event, then I have to change the entire event. So for me, it's just easier because I have on accident marked myself as unavailable and then forgot why I was taking that day off or whatever the case was and gone ahead and actually scheduled projects on that day. But by visually blocking out the entire day, I avoid that from happening. So you don't have to do it this way, it's just a suggestion. Now I'm going to edit the event. Okay, so this information is going to be visible to the to your clients. So now this information is going to be provided to people who see this calendar. I use the where, the location bar right here, to indicate roughly the number of words I can translate that day, because full availability might mean something different to different people. As I'm sure you know by now, I'm relatively quick, so full availability might seem to mean 2,000 words a day, but because I go with about 4,000 words a day, I'm actually going to put that here. So do the little about sign and then 4,000 words of availability, or you can say whatever you want. And then I'm going to click repeat. I'm going to repeat it every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. That way I don't have to keep recreating this event every single day. And I'm just going to say ends never. So it's going to repeat every single week. And now I'm going to click done so you can see what it looks like. Click save. And I'm going to wait for it to just populate, and you'll see it's all the way across here. So the nice thing about using the location bar the way that I have is if somebody's looking at your calendar, if they click here, you see how it automatically pops up right here, that location, about 4,000 words of availability. So now let's say that on Wednesday I actually have half availability. So let me change Wednesday's event to reflect that. So I'm going to go to edit event and I'm going to say partial availability. And again, that could mean anything. So I'm actually going to change this to reflect roughly what I mean. So I'm just going to put about 2,000. It's usually a good idea to, even if you think that depending on the material, you're going to be under this amount, you still want people to contact you so that you can turn them down. This is just to kind of help like if a client has, a 10,000 word project and you're telling them you have partial availability, they understand that you're probably not available for their job. You also don't want to exclude yourself in the event that they have something that's really straightforward and you could actually maybe knock out over this amount, like maybe 2,500 words. You want them to still reach out to you. So make sure that when you choose the number of words here, you're not being conservative, because remember that this is not an acceptance of work. This is just to help streamline a little bit those emails and sending back notifications that you're booked, right? So I chose 2,000 words of availability, even if I think that depending on the material, it might be more like 1,000 to 1,500. And then change the title of the event here. Now, when I click save, you're going to see a window pop up that says edit recurring event. It's doing that because remember that we created a recurring event so that every day it would say full availability and then 4,000 words a day. Well, I want to make sure not to change every single event to partial availability and 2,000 words. I just want to change this event. So definitely make sure to always just choose only this event when you do that. And now you're going to see that Monday says full, Tuesday full, and then Wednesday partial availability. Okay, so you can now share this calendar, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. We're going to start by going up to the settings button up here. Click settings, settings again. Now we're going to go to the calendars tab up here. And we're going to select the calendar that we want to find the link for. So that's going to be my agency availability calendar. So I click here. Now in order to get the link, we're going to scroll down here to calendar address, which is right here. And then you can choose what you want, iCal or HTML. We're just going to work with the link that people can use to get the calendar. You can also embed the calendar on your website if you would like to do that instead. I just keep a link to it in my signature on my emails. So I'm going to click HTML here. It's going to pop up a link, and this is the link that I need. So I'm going to copy this link by right-clicking and saying copy link address. So now I can paste this in an email if I would like to. So let's go ahead and do that. I have an email right here, and you'll see that I have information already in my signature. But if I would like to, I can just include this in my email. Now, you'll see that the link is incredibly long. So you might either want to create a link like this, but if you're using a web-based email, that might not be that easy or ideal for you. So you can use a service like Bitly, which is a link shortener. So all you need to do is go to bitly.com, and then I'm going to paste in that same link. And you see how it's shortened the link here. So now I can just use that as my calendar. Select copy, and then let's go back to that email. And of course, instead of using this really long email here, can just paste this tiny one and it will work just the same way. So I would suggest doing that to use the Google Calendar, or else create an HTML link inside your email client. And you do that in different ways depending on your email client. This is Outlook. So for Outlook, all I need to do is type the text I want and highlight that text, right click, hyperlink, and then I would just enter whatever hyperlink I want here. So there's my hyperlink, and then you'll see that text is now linked. So either way, if you just want to display the link and not worry about the linking actual text, that's fine too. You know, just availability : and then the link works just as well. So now that we've done that, let's take a look at what it actually looks like when someone else clicks on it that's not you. So obviously this is what you see. Let's go back to this. This is what you see, but that's not what your client will see. So I have the link pasted up here so we can see what it looks like. So this is what it looks like to them, and you'll see there's full availability here and then that partial availability. So again, the reason why we use that location bar the way that we did is if you click on it here, it pops up 4,000 words of availability. So they can see what it is. And again, partial availability says 2,000. So it gives them the information that they need. Now you could enter more information about those events, and that would be available here. But because it requires them more buttons to click, I prefer just to keep everything easy and in this format. So just using the location bar to put whatever information I want to include, so they don't have to go to more details. And that's really it. That's all you need to know to be able to get started using Google Calendar for your public availability calendar. And one more thing I just want to reiterate that I know I already mentioned, but just make sure that you overestimate your availability so that you don't end up telling a client that you're not available for a project that you actually could have done. So just be really, really careful and cognizant of that when you start using this. All right, that's it. Have a great day.